All Sports. My name is Adrian, a.k.a. James Harden, a.k.a. Rick Ross, the boss, and a.k.a. A-Temp.
My name is Ray McColston, a.k.a. Coach Ray. All right, we're going to roll right into it for this first episode of the show. We're going to talk about sports stories. First off, we're going to start with our local sports story. This Friday night at Lake Taylor High School, the matchup of the decade, what I personally think is the matchup of the decade, Lake Taylor High School Titans versus Oscar Smith. I'm not biased, but I feel like Lake Taylor's going to pull this one out.
And I really don't care because it's not a beach school that's playing. But what's the next topic?
Johnny Football. People like him. People dislike him. Right about now, I'm not saying I dislike him. I'm saying I'm disliking his actions. Johnny Football is on the verge of ruining himself as a college athlete by the things that he's doing. He's jeopardizing Texas A&M season by his selfishness and thought process. I'm just saying he could do better.
Johnny Football, man's he's a college kid, man. That's what college kids do. They go out, wild out. Why can't he live a normal college life like all the other kids doing? If he can live a normal college life, still go in the game and throw 3 touchdowns in one half, I'm just saying. He's doing something right.
All I'm saying is every college player didn't do that. Tebow didn't do that. Tebow won the Heisman as a freshman, went home, did what he was supposed to do in the summer, came back, led Florida like he was supposed to, like a good quarterback. Most college quarterbacks are leaders, not partiers. Also, the 3 touchdowns came against Rice. Come on, man.
Okay,
Rice.
First of all, you're talking about Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow had God on his side. That's the only reason they won anything, because you got Aaron Hernandez, the killer, and you got Riley Cooper, the racist, on the team. So I'm just saying, you can't throw Tebow in the conversation. Anybody that got God on his side is always going to do good.
Yeah, but Johnny Manziel got money on his side, and that's why he only got suspended for half the game.
Hey, money rules everything around.
I guess it does. Even though obviously it does. I mean, the man played after a half a game. He threw 3 touchdowns. That's great. But I can put a blind monkey on the field and throw 3 touchdowns against Rice.
Hey, Rice is a college team, so they put him on the schedule. They knew what was going to happen. It was close the first half.
It's close the first half because the starters weren't on the field.
The starters were on the field. The only starter that wasn't on the field was Manziel.
Yeah, exactly. The starters were on the field. When your starting quarterback ain't on the field, the team ain't together. You need a starting quarterback for everything to flow. When he came in, he took over the game. I give him that. I'm not denying him that. But then we roll into the taunting on the field, the throwing up the money sign, the taunting the other players. He's doing too much. Just play the game, go on the sideline, try to get your team to a national championship, or somehow try to beat Alabama, which won't happen, and then just move on the rest of the season.
I'm just saying, if I'm killing the team and I can taunt all I want, I'm going to taunt all I want, you know what I'm saying? If they can't stop me, they can't stop me, you know?
I mean, I can feel you how you're saying that, but you taunting Rice. Of course they can't stop you.
Shit,
do that when you playing Bama.
They didn't say nothing about him throwing up the money sign, nothing like that. He ain't getting no penalty for that. We got the only penalty he got was for arguing with the guy, and he shouldn't have been arguing with him. He told him to look at the scoreboard. That should have been the end of it. I give him that. He shouldn't have did that.
So what you're saying is you agree with him saying he's doing too much on the field?
He's not doing too much on the field. Only time he was wrong was when he was talking back and forth to players. But everybody talks back and forth to players. I'm pretty sure that player said something to him that could have got him a penalty too. But they always go for the second player.
I got you. It's just always the second person who hits that gets caught. That's just what always happens. But again, you're a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. Act like a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback.
Hey, he is acting like a Heisman quarterback. He's throwing 3 touchdowns in one half. So
okay, I'll give you that much. He threw 3 touchdowns in one game, but again, it was still against Rice.
All right, I ain't got nothing to say about that. What's the next topic?
All right, next topic, what we're going to talk about today. Praise the Lord. Thank you. Football season is back. Not preseason, regular season football. All these people running around talking about, oh, my team is 3-4-0 in the preseason. Get off that. Those games don't really count. They're just trying to see who's going to make the team. But we're going to get ready to break down this upcoming NFL season. So what we're going to do is show you the rankings that we think are going to take over the teams that are going to take over this football season when we come back. And we're back. Now what we're going to do is break down each division in the NFL, starting with the AFC West. Teams consist of the Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, San Diego Chargers, and the Oakland Raiders. Now, some of the key players in this division, for the Denver Broncos, we got Peyton Manning, Wes Welker, Eric Decker, Demaryius Thomas. They got Jacob Tamme, and they still have Monte Ball as the running back and Ronnie Hillman. On the defensive side?
On the defensive side, they have Champ Bailey, Von Miller, as the two key defensive players.
Now we move forward to the Kansas City Chiefs with the acquisition of Alex Smith. Have now enhanced their offense to be somewhat better, probably a little mediocre, but they still got Dwayne Bowe. They still got Jamal Charles. On the defensive side, they have
Brandon Flowers. They also have Tamba Ali. And just a side note, they also got Andy Reid as their coach. So, man.
We move on to the San Diego Chargers, who recently fired Norv Turner as the head coach, which means that Phillip Rivers might actually do a little better this season. They have Phillip Rivers at quarterback, Ryan Matthews, Antonio Gates on the defensive side.
They got Manti Te'o, who's still looking for his girlfriend, and they got Eric Weddle at safety.
We move on to what I personally would say, I'm sorry, it's probably the pits of the division, and that's the Oakland Raiders. They have Terrell Pryor and
Darren
McFadden, and after that, it's a blur on defense.
On defense, Charles Woodson. That's all you need to say. That's the best player on that defense, and he's 40 years old.
And our next division that we're going to break down, the AFC East. Teams consist of New England Patriots, Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins, and the New York Jets. My personal belief is the most dominant team in the division, New England Patriots, still have the legend Tom Brady. They added Danny Amendola, who's a good slot threat. They have Stephen Ridley at running back, doing good things. Offensive line still intact, and they still have the legend, the great Bill Belichick as a head coach. On the defensive side,
they have Brandon Spikes and Vince Wilfork. Vince Wilfork, still at his age, is still holding it down on the D-line.
All right, Buffalo Bills. Personal favorite rookie signing of E.J. Manuel from Virginia Beach, Virginia, Bayside quarterback.
A block for him.
They also have C.J. Spiller, Stevie Johnson, looking pretty good on offense. On the defensive side of the ball,
they have Stephon Gilmore playing corner. They also have Jarius.
Keep going.
They have Janaris Bird. That's two key defensive players for the Bills.
Miami Dolphins, Ryan Tannehill. They got Lamar Miller at running back. Still got Brian Hartline at wide receiver. On the defensive side of the ball,
they have Cameron Wake. They have rookie phenom Deion Jordan, and they also have.
We're gonna move on to the New York Jets. The New York Jets, unfortunately, still have Mark Sanchez. They added Geno Smith, who really ain't that much better. At receiver, they got. And on the defensive side of the ball,
they got Antonio Cromartie. That's the only person that probably will make the Pro Bowl this year or do anything significant for the Jets.
And if we keep talking about the Jets, we're going to keep hearing those crickets in the background.
Okay.
And with our next division, AFC North, we got the Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland Browns, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This division right here, this might be one of the closest division races in the AFC. Cincinnati Bengals got the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, Mohamed Sanu, A.J. Green, the law firm, Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, and Giovanni Bernard. On defensive side of the ball?
On Cincinnati side of the ball, on defense side, they have James Harrison, who they picked up from the Steelers. And then they also have Leon Hall, and they still have the wild child Pac-Man Jones.
Okay. We got the Baltimore Ravens, who have Joe Flacco, and those other receivers who caught miracle passes in the playoffs, Torrey Smith and Jacoby Jones. On the defensive side of the ball?
On the defensive side of the ball, they added Elvis Duberville, and they added Michael Huff, too. And you can tell that he's still hating from that Super Bowl loss.
Whatever, we're going to move on with the Cleveland Browns, who I pick is my favorite to win the division. This is just my personal favorite. They have Brandon Weeden, the addition of Norv Turner as the offensive coordinator, better offensive coordinator than the head coach, proven fact. They still, they have Brandon Weeden, they got Trenton Richardson, they have Josh Gordon at receiver, and they still got Ben Watson at tight end.
On the defensive side of the ball, they picked up Paul Kruger from the Super Bowl champs Baltimore Ravens, and they have Joe Hayden at corner.
And we move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have, I think they signed a running. Did they sign a running? Do they have a running back?
They really don't have a
Yeah, I think I don't know. They let their leading rusher go on Sunday. They still got Big Ben. Hopefully, he actually comes out, doesn't get sacked 90 times this season. They lost Mike Wallace, but left him with Antonio Brown and Emmanuel Sanders. Still got the big target of Heath Miller, but on the defensive side of the ball,
on defense side of the ball, they got a whole bunch of old linebackers and corners. They're old too, and probably the best player they still have, Tasmanian Devil, Troy Polamalu.
All right, our last division for the AFC South. We got the Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts, Tennessee Titans, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. My belief, got some of the best teams, two of the best teams in that division. Both of those teams possibly may make playoffs. But on the Houston Texans, we got Matt Shaw, Andre Johnson, Arian Foster, and Ben Tate on the offensive side of the ball. Defense?
On defense side of the ball, they have J.J. Watt, the Defensive Player of the Year, and they also have newly acquired Ed Reed.
Indianapolis Colts, Andrew Luck, Reggie Wayne, T.Y. Hilton, and defensive side of the ball?
On the defense side of the ball, all they really got is Robert Mathis. I can't name another player from that defense.
All right. Tennessee Titans got... Oh, yeah, they got Jake Locker and Chris Johnson. And after that, we can go to the defense.
They also got the crazy man Kenny Britt on offense, too. But on the defense side of the ball, they have two strong safeties with Michael Griffin and Bernard Pollard from the Ravens they picked up.
Okay, now we move forward to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have Maurice Jones-Drew, Cecil Shorts, Justin Blackman, and I'm assuming that they got a quarterback. I don't really... Did they sign Tebow yet?
I don't know.
We can go to the defensive side of the ball.
On the defensive side of the ball, just because I'm a hater, they got Jason Babin from the Eagles, and but they really don't have a defense at all. So,
all right, and that's all the teams for the AFC.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the NFC division. We're going to start out with the NFC West. In the NFC West, they have the Seattle Seahawks, San Francisco 49ers, and the St. Louis Rams, and also the Arizona Cardinals. On the offensive side of the ball, they for the Seattle Seahawks, they have Russell Wilson, rookie phenom. They also have Marshawn Lynch, beast mode. And they also have a couple good wide receivers with Sidney Rice and Golden Tate. On defense,
they have Cam Chancellor, they have Sherman, and that's about it. I'm say about the Seattle Seahawks.
Another 49ers hater. Seahawks hater. And then we go to the 49ers. On offense, they have Colin Kaepernick, who took the league by storm. And they also have Anquan Bolden and Vernon Davis. And also at running back, they have Frank Gore. And on defense,
we have Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, Justin Smith, Alden Smith, Ray McDonald, just to name a few, Nnamdi Asomugha, Carlos Rogers.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. He shouldn't have said Asomugha in the first place. Okay, we're going to go to the St. Louis Rams. Their offense is a little on the shake this year, but they have Sam Bradford, and they also have Tavon Austin.
Defensive side of the ball, Chris Long. That's all I'm going to say.
And then for the Arizona Cardinals on the offense side, they have a new quarterback with Carson Palmer. They also got Larry Fitzgerald. And at running back, they got Rashard Mendenhall from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They go on defense side of the ball. They got one of the new phenoms at the cornerback position, man Peterson, and that's really all they have.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the NFC East. In the NFC East, we have the Philadelphia Eagles, my favorite team, of course. We have the Dallas Cowgirls, and we have the Deadskins, and we have the Giants. Okay. On the offense side of the ball for the Philadelphia Eagles, they have Michael Vick, they have LaShawn McCoy, and they also have the fast man Deshaun Jackson. And right here, I would refer to Ray about the defense, but since it's my favorite team, I'm going to keep going. On defense, they have Trent Cole, they have Kerry Williams from the Super Bowl winning Baltimore Ravens. They also have Patrick Chung, too, and shout out to Chip Kelly, our new coach.
Yeah, the sad thing is everybody on their team won everywhere else.
And we're going to go to the next team. Next team, we have the Dallas Cowboys, and they have, on offense, they have Tony Romo, they have Dez Bryant, who has monster hands, they got Miles Austin, who hopefully will recover from all his hamstring injuries, and they have DeMarco Murray. And on defense, they have
Marcus Ware, they have Sean Lee, and just adding the great Lane Kiffin as a defensive coordinator is going to step their defense up a notch. Running the Tampa 2, one of my favorite defenses of all time.
And then we go to the Washington Redskins. On the Washington Redskins office, they have RG3, also known as RG Knee this year. Hopefully that knee stands up. And then they also have Santana Moss, and they have the unheralded rookie Alfred Morris. And on defense,
they got Carricker. We got Brian Orakpo. They have D'Angelo Hall at corner. And after that, we're just going to keep praying for them that don't nobody keep bombing on them with pass attack.
And then we're going to go to the New York Giants. The New York Giants, on offense, they have Eli Manning, they have David Wilson, and they also have Victor Cruz, who does the little gay salsa dance, but whatever. And they also have Akeem Nicks. And then on defense,
they still have Justin Tuck, JPP, Jason Pierre-Paul. They still got Matthias Kiwanuka. And after that, you can just throw the ball everywhere on the field because they really can't stop the pass at all.
And that's going to conclude for the NFC East. Okay, now we're going to talk about the NFC North. In the NFC North, they have the Green Bay Packers. They have the Detroit Lions. They have the Minnesota Vikings. And they have the Chicago Bears. On the Green Bay Packers offense, they have Aaron Rodgers, who's
a bad man.
Yeah, he's a real good quarterback. And then at running back, they have Eddie Lacy from Alabama. And at wide receiver, they still have Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb. And on defense, they got
the wild man Clay Matthews. They got A.J. Hawk. And that's it, because that's the only two people I care about on that defense.
And then we'll go to Detroit. On Detroit's offense, they have Matthew Stafford. They also have Megatron, Calvin Johnson. And they have newly acquired Reggie Bush, who is sore to get a lot of passes his way, but not that many rushing yards this year. And on defense, they have
Ndamukong Suh and Nick Fairley. And that's all I care about on that defense.
Okay, and for the offense of the Minnesota Vikings, all that needs to be said is Adrian Peterson. They got Greg Jennings too, but Adrian Peterson, that's all I'm going to say again. I'm going to say it again, Adrian Peterson. And then on defense, they have...
Defensive side of the ball, they got Jared Allen, Chad Greenway. That's all I care about on that defense.
And I'm going to say Adrian Peterson again. And then on offense for the Chicago Bears, they have Jay Cutler, they have Brandon Marshall, and they have Matt Forte, who hopefully can stay healthy this year. And on defense, they have...
On defense side, they got Lance Briggs, and they got Charles Tillman. After that, that's all I care about on that defense.
and that's going to conclude for the NFC North. Okay, now we're going to talk about the NFC South. In the NFC South, we have the Atlanta Falcons, we have the New Orleans Saints, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we have the Carolina Panthers. Okay, we're going to start with the offensive side of the ball for the Atlanta Falcons. They have Matty Ice, Matt Ryan, and they also have Julio Jones, Brady White, and newly acquired running back Steven Jackson. And on defense, they have
Osi Umenyiora.
Okay.
Do it again. All right, go ahead.
Okay, and for the New Orleans Saints on offense, they have Drew Brees, who should have a way better year this year, period, because he has his boy Sean Payton back with him. And they also have Marcus Colston, and they also have Mark Ingram. And on the defense side of the ball, they have
Jonathan Vilma.
And for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on offense, they have Josh Freeman, they have Vincent Jackson, and they have the muscle hamster Doug Martin. And on defense,
we just want to say thank you for Eric Wright, because that's all y'all had.
And for the Carolina Panthers on offense, they have Cam Newton, Steve Smith, and D'Angelo Williams. But really just Cam Newton, because he's going to either run the ball or pass it to himself. And on defense, they have
Luke Kuechly. Nobody else.
And that will conclude the NFC South.
All right, we're back. Now we're going to pick our division champions for the AFC. AFC East, New England Patriots. AFC South, Houston Texans. AFC North, Cincinnati Bengals. And AFC West, the Denver Broncos. Those are our picks for the AFC champions.
Okay, and now we're going to pick the division champs for the NFC. I couldn't decide between the NFC West, between the 49ers and Seattle, so we're going to go with both of them. I'm going to put 49ers second because of my co-host, and then we'll put the Seattle first. And then in the NFC East, we're going to have the Philadelphia Eagles winning. Yes, it's a biased pick, and I don't care. And for the NFC South, we're going to have the Atlanta Falcons, and then for the NFC North, we're going to have the Green Bay Packers. And those are the picks for the division winners in the NFC.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to play a little bit of looking into the future. Now, the pick that we have for the AFC going to the Super Bowl, the Denver Broncos, led by quarterback Peyton Manning.
Okay, and now we're going to talk about who we think is going to go to the Super Bowl from the NFC East. As much as I hate this, from the NFC, as much as I hate to say it, I'm going to go with the 49ers.
You don't have a choice.
So we're going to pick the 49ers and the Broncos to be in the Super Bowl.
We'll go with our Super Bowl winners. As if you already didn't know, the team that's going to win the Super Bowl, in my opinion, is the San Francisco 49ers. No doubt. That's all we got to say. Super Bowl champs, number 6.
I'll go with the Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning already has a chip on his back from getting lucky by the Ravens winning. So I think he'll take them to the Super Bowl, and Von Miller will have a monster game against Kaepernick. So my pick is going to be Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos.
You can't stop Cap.
Okay, welcome back. In this segment, we're going to talk about the primetime matchups for the first week in the NFL. Starting with Game 1, which is Thursday night, which is the Broncos versus the Ravens. And this game is going to be held in, I think, the first time in a while, it's going to be held in the opposite team that didn't win the Super Bowl. So it's actually going to be in Denver. And in this matchup, we have Flacco and the Ravens versus Peyton and the Broncos.
My personal belief in this game, we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, this Sunday night. I believe it's going to be a really good game. We got Tony Romo, the $100 million man, against Eli Manning, who I call him half and half. He plays half a game and then takes the rest of the game off.
And then on Monday night, we have the first game. It's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington Redskins. Y'all know who I'm going for. It's going to be
Redskins.
The Eagles going to take it out. And, I think RG Knee will probably get his knee taken out. So look for the Eagles to put up a lot of points and have the Redskins defense huffing and puffing all over the field.
Last primetime matchup, we got the Houston Texans against the San Diego Chargers. We got Arian Foster. We got Matt Schaub and Andre Johnson going up against the San Diego Chargers, Phillip Rivers, Antonio Gates. And I think Matt Tateo is going to show up, but he might still be looking for that girl that he was on the internet with.
She's somewhere.
Somewhere. I think they saw an episode of Catfish.
And that concludes the primetime matchups.
Well, this is going to conclude our first episode of Free For All Sports. We'd like to thank everybody who's tuning in. First of all, we'd like to thank our producer, Julian Copeland, who's holding it down with the technical aspect of the show. We want to thank everybody that's going to come out and take a look at us. We also want to give a shout out to the Lake Taylor Titans. Bring it home this Friday night. Give a special shout out to my Lake Taylor Middle School Vikings. Be at practice tomorrow.
We just want to thank y'all for watching the show again. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's going to watch this week, and keep a lookout for more shows to come. And make sure y'all watch the Eagles on Monday night. And also, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Free For All Sports.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see everybody next week.